Alright, I'm back, and it's time to get this done. I don't have very much left to do. I got a bunch of polish on the bike I gotta wipe off. First I gotta polish up just this front end here, the bars and all that. It's the only thing I haven't done yet. And then while that dries, I'm gonna polish off the rest of the bike and the front wheel. And then I'll wipe the front end down, put the wheel on, and then all I gotta do is wipe off the paint with some quick detailer, and it should be ready to rock and roll and go for a little ride. I'm ready. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but looks like there's a fire or a crash or something over there. 'Tis the season up here for fires, unfortunately. Hopefully that's not what that is. Well, obviously it's a fire, but not an out of control one, because that is in town. Might be a house. All right. Anyways, if I find out what that is, I'll let you guys know. But let's get to this.
It's done. It's back together, and we need to go put some fuel in it and take her for a rip. Oh man, yeah, it sure is fun to be back on this bike. Just does all the right things. It's comfortable, rides good, got good power, stops, handles pretty good. I mean, for what it is. Obviously it's no sport bike or anything crazy, but it's just a good riding bike. Be able to get it back out and ride it in some of this beautiful country too. It's nice. Really need to get it out on the road and go for a good ride one day here soon. It's been a while since I've actually got to put a couple 100 miles on it in a day. Not talking anything crazy, just kind of a day or half day trip, you know. Get up in the morning, go ride somewhere, turn around, come back. A good little cruise. Oh yeah, man. Oh, she looks good. Do a quick little video here so I can make a short or something. listen to a little music and cruise a little bit more. Take you guys with me. I'm not gonna probably talk near as much as I should in this video, or in this section of the video of me riding. I'm just excited to get to ride this bike again. So I'm just kind of taking that in. Feels really good out right now too. Last week up here was pretty hot, and even then it wasn't bad because it's so dry up here. You don't get a lot of humidity, so even though it was like high 90s, it wasn't the worst. Just kind of stale hot air, but other than that, right now it's probably like 84 maybe. But again, it's evening time, so everything's cooling down, and it's not very hot at all. Feels good. Perfect time to ride. If you watched the channel before, you've probably recognized this road. I've ridden it a time or two on this bike. I have a little route I do like when I test ride or just want to go for a good, like I said, 30-45 minute ride or so. Something I can do real quick and still get a good ride in, but not be gone for a long time when I got other stuff to do. Gets me a couple spots to get up to good highway speed for a second. Got some good curves, good sights, just a good little ride, really. I need to, well, I guess I can this time. Got a little bit of extra, maybe mile. But I need to do it from like driveway back to driveway one day about how long this loop is. I have a pretty good estimate once I get home though with that, with my trip meter, because I just filled it up. I was enjoying the ride without the music here at first, but man, got some Alice in Chains blasting while riding this bad boy. Make you feel good. Better than any drug, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm really happy that I finally got all this stuff done to this bike that I did. If you watched the previous video, you know what I did to it, but I'll go ahead and go over it in case you guys are new here or you missed the last video. But if you missed the last video, go back and watch it. It was alright. I just kind of was working on this bike in the garage and had some help. So last year, oh, that's cool. That was cool. I don't get to see a whole lot of deer around here. I mean, you see them occasionally when they're out here. I guess what I mean by that is they don't really run out on the road a lot here like they do in like the Midwest. I was used to just always having to watch. I mean, you still got to watch here because obviously you've seen they were in the road, but I don't know. They just seem a little smarter up here. They stay out of the road for the most part. So anyways, like I was saying, especially if you watch my channel like last year and stuff like that, you knew I had a noise coming from the motor, some kind of ticking. Just the push rods, thinking it was something in the top end. I could never really track it down. Then I finally think I figured it out at the end of last year, narrowed it down to the O-rings on the injectors, and sure enough, I tore it back apart. I took them out. The O-rings were like busted, like they were just splitting in half on the lower part of them. The upper part they were fine, but so I went ahead and bought new injectors. Found a good set of the same ones for pretty cheap. I figured while I was in there, might as well just go ahead and do the injector, because my luck, I'd do the O-rings and then a couple hundred miles later something would go wrong with one of the injectors. I figured, well, I had it all tore apart because I had to take tank and all that off. But did that. And then also last year on my trip, we had a little fire because of the brake switch. There was a little leak somehow or another. I think the brake switch just wore out, but there was a little leak, brake fluid, and I think I could feel it. I was losing pressure, so when I was getting off the highway, I kind of had to pump it a couple times, and then I get a little bit of rear brake, and I couldn't quite figure out where it was leaking from. I finally figured it out then, but I had pulled up into this gas station finally, and they had been pressure washing the ground, and when I stopped, there was a little bit of smoke coming up on the bike, and I was on the phone with my mom. I had my helmet on still and talking to her, and I just thought it was, you know, my front tire had kicked up some water on the exhaust or something. Didn't think too much of it. Turned around to get ready to pump gas, and I turned back to the bike and looked down. There was a little flame about that big, and so luckily the washer fluid deal, the windshield washer, was right there. I took that and I dumped as much water on it as I could. You know, I kind of slung with the thing and then just scooped some out and got it out. But God, I was scared. Literally right by the gas pump. I was fully prepared to have to push it out away from the gas pumps so we didn't have any problems. But luckily, thank God, we didn't have to do that, because I don't know what I would have done watching this bike burn up. That would have sucked. But so I had to replace that brake switch, but I got it back. I was about 2 hours from my parents' house at that point where I was going to stop that night. So I got it there, get it blown a fuse and stuff, and so I had to track a couple little issues down with that. I think it blew because of that, and I ended up just plugging it for a while because I wanted to put a new brake line on it anyways. The old one was looking a little rough, so I got the sensor and everything ready, but I plugged it and brought it back, rode it home like that, and finally got around to fixing it. I got a new line on it back there. I need a new brake pads too, and I decided I wanted a little bit better rotor for the back too, so I bought a newer rotor. So I got a new rotor and pads on the back along with a new brake line, and last year I flushed the front and the rear brake fluid, so it's decently new fluid. It's probably about a year old right now. I did it about this time last year. July is right before I went on my trip, so it's not bad. I should be good to go with that. But and then I white lettered these tires, because also on the trip last year I had a flat tire. A few little things happened. I mean, it was like 4,300 miles or something that I did, or 4,000 some mile. I can't remember exactly what it is. There's a video about that too. But yeah, I had a flat tire in the middle of Lolo, and I had to get 2 new tires. I was also 2 hours away from home, being home when that happened. Well, not when it happened. I was about 3.5, 4 hours, but then I got towed over, and the whole story is on my old video. You have to go watch it. But they had a deal going on, so I put these Dunlops on it. I had Metzler's forever before. That's all I've ever had on it. And then I finally I kind of had to switch over to these this time. Not exactly what I wanted, they say Harley Davidson on the side and stuff. And I like the way that the Metzgers looked and handled and everything, but I don't think these are going to be bad tires. But I finally got them white lettered, and yeah, then I just kind of polished it up, and it's kind of good to go again now. Can't really think of anything else that I need to do to it. There's obviously a couple little things here and there that I'll always want to do to it, but I do have a fob that I need to have programmed for it. But yeah, that's it. Well, anyways, I'll probably add some more to this video. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do yet. Maybe we'll do a little bit of the chopper this week, or maybe not. I don't know. But for now, I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my ride. So see you guys in a little bit. Alright, well, it's the very next day after I got Softail done. And as you can see, I'm not on the Softail. The reason for that is I pushed it out of the garage this morning in the driveway. I went to start it. It didn't start. On the trickle charger all night. Didn't start. Worked on a little bit at lunch. Went and had it's a new battery, or I just bought it this year. And had it load tested, and it came back fine. I was hoping that was really going to be the problem, because yeah. And then I cleaned all the cables, made sure they were grounded good, because when I would with the multimeter on it, it would drop from like 12.6 to like 5 volts when I would crank it. So it just didn't have, it was losing power. But the starter that's on there is original. It's 16 years old. And with all the compression that motor has, more than stock and stuff, it pretty hard on that starter. So I have a feeling, unfortunately, that's the issue. But it's like a $550 part, unfortunately, and I'll have to work on that, I guess. Kind of sucks, because I was trying to get that bike in good shape so I can kind of ride it, so I can do a couple things to this one. But now it's gonna have to wait a little bit longer. But yeah, I gotta try to fix this back wheel. I'm going to pick up a tire tomorrow morning for this. Found off Marketplace, brand new tire for 35 bucks. Hopefully get me through a little bit longer, because the front tire on this is by no means in terrible shape, but the back one's getting pretty wore out. Then I want to go ahead and try to put some new spokes and stuff on the back while I'm doing that. There's a couple more things I want to do. I'm missing a bolt in the primary. I think it might be stripped out, so I'll have to put a helicoil or something in there and fix that. I need to change the primary oil anyways. So there's just a couple things like that I was wanting to be able to take this off the road for a week or two and do some things like that to it too. But now I got to try to order a new starter for the Softail too. So I don't know. It all comes in time, I guess. But it kind of sucks, because I just got to put back together and got to ride it once yesterday for a little bit, as you guys seen. And it was riding good. And it's all polished up, looked good. But now I got to do more work to it. So what are you going to do, I guess? But yeah, like I said, I gonna try to at least get this back wheel on this bike fixed up a little bit, because that's my main concern right now. I've been missing that one bolt for a little bit. It also leaks, drips a little bit of oil. They just started that. The way these Sportsters are set up, it's kind of like I got a quick release oil drain thing, just like a little hose clamp that goes onto the frame when you clamp it down. Well, there's a little T up further than that, and I think one of those, it's just kind of like the crimp style hose clamps. I think one of those might be a little loose or worn out now, so I was wanting to try to get that taken care of too. But again, that one's not a super pressing thing. It's just a couple things before it. I don't want to, you know, leave stuff like that for too long. But yeah, if I can get this back wheel taken care of, then I think that should be good for now, and I'll feel better riding this a little bit more, and then I can go ahead and get that starter order for the Softail and go from there. I'm going to try to order a little bit better starter, a little bigger kilowatt for it, possibly, you know, something along those lines. That way it lasts a little longer and starts the bike a little easier, because the one now, even when I did have a full charge battery, you can kind of tell it would just kind of lug sometimes. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at. Probably won't make this video very long now, because now it's going to be kind of a weird, all over the place video too. But I'll probably at least bring you guys back tomorrow, or maybe show you that tire and stuff that I get. But yeah, so I got to do a cool little short riding video this week, pretty much. At least I got to ride the Softail for the first time in a while. But yeah. It's always something, I guess, right? Alright guys, what's up? So, I just picked up a brand new tire for $35 for the Sportster. It's going to be for the rear. It's going to be slightly smaller. That's a 120/90/18. I think this is a 120/80. Yeah, 80. But hopefully it's going to just get me by. And then either sometime this winter or early next spring, I'll replace the front and rear together with what I already have on there. Looking to see if there's a date code on this. It's probably on this other side, just to see how 23, so it's not super old, but it's still a brand new tire, so it's new enough that I'm not worried about it running on here. And I was able to come pick it up on the Sportster. But yeah, so my plan, kind of like I was talking yesterday, since I got this tire now, I need to get some spokes. I think I'm going to order some 6 gauge spokes, 6 or 8 gauge spokes. I think 8 actually. Depends on if there's a price difference or not. From Buchanan Buchanan Wheel and Tires, or whatever. It's Buchanan brand, whatever. And order a truing stand and try to do it myself. I would love to know how to true a wheel, or be able to finally figure it out and do it, because I feel like it's a good skill to have if you have a motorcycle. because having somebody true it obviously costs a little bit. I actually never had it quoted out, but I had a buddy that took a wheel to a Harley shop and was going to have them do it. Of course, that was astronomical what they wanted for it. They pretty much just told him, they're like, it'd be worth you just buying a wheel that's already put together. And he had bought a wheel at Swap Meet, put some new spokes on it himself, and it just needed to be trued. And yeah, I don't know. I think he needed to put some different bearings in it too. But I will say this tire, I thought it was going to be a little bit more comfortable to lean on, but it's really not. It hits the worst part of my back. I still got plenty of room on the seat though, so thankfully I can kind of slide up. Just feels a little different. Feels like I'm riding a real ADV bike now. Just slide way up, sit straight up. And then I am going to try to reseal these wheels myself too, but I'll probably do that next year. Because when I got the flat on the back of this bike, and when I broke that spoke, it ruined one little section of it anyways. So I just bought a tube and rim band. Well, most every time you buy tubes and rim bands, well, not necessarily every time, but like I buy them on Amazon and get them there fast and cheap. Because the only time I really bought it is just kind of fix it and something like that. Like I had a flat in my Yamaha, the XS650, before I took it back apart, and it was the same way. I just put a tube in it real quick and fixed it. I didn't break a spoke on it. I think I had a screw or something go through the tire and poke the tube in the first place, but I just did it myself at home so I could keep riding. And that's pretty much what I do with this one. So I have another brand new tube and rim band, so I'll probably just use the tube again. And this tire here says tube type only, so it's the sidewalls and stuff aren't built for being tubeless like these other Shinkos are that I run on here. So I don't want to try that. But then next year I'll tear all the old sealant off of these and try to reseal myself. Never done it, but I've watched some videos and stuff, and it seems fairly simple, really. So we'll try that, but like I said, that'll probably be a next year thing. Because also this front wheel, from when I bought it from TC Bros, I think I've said this before, it's a little off. So I would kind of like to tear the sealant off that too and try to adjust the wheel how it is now. I don't think I'll have to replace the spokes on it. I think they don't take the same kind of beating as the back ones did. But I also think I found some shocks I want to put on it for the rear. They're still chrome. Cost way more though, unfortunately. There's two different sets that I could get. There is a much cheaper set, but I would really like to try to get this thing out on some more off-road stuff than what I've really done here. And I think if I had a nicer set of shocks on the back of this thing, I would probably do that way more than what I do now. So they're the Progressive 444s. They've got an adjustable preload you can do by hand on the fly. One video I watched, the guy said it's kind of hard, unless you're a big guy, strong hands, to try to do it while you're out on the road. You might want to adjust them at home first. And honestly, I probably won't end up adjusting them a lot. When I first get them, I might mess with them and find a good balance. But I don't know, they just look nicer. They're like I forget what they actually call it. There's a name for it, but it's like a self-adjusting. So like, depending on what I'm riding, if I'm riding on the road, it'll kind of set itself up to that in a way. or if I'm riding off-road and a lot of washboard and different things like that, it'll kind of adjust to that. It's not electronic or anything, it's just, you know, the way it's set up. But and then the other options are the 412s, and they're just and they're also progressive shocks, and they would be a big improvement, I think. But I have no plans on getting rid of this bike, really. So I'd rather put a good shock on the back and enjoy it the way I want to. Plus, with the rear luggage and stuff I put on this, it gets kind of heavy between the gas, and sometimes I put stuff in that big box, which I need to do a little bit of reinforcement on that too, because as you guys seen, it cracked the luggage rack after a while from bouncing on there and stuff. So I'm going to try to do a little something with that, hopefully before this winter, because I like to have the bags on and windshield on in the winter, because I ride it back and forth to work a lot, and it's nice to be able to have a place to put some things I want to take. And the side boxes are great to have on there. I mean, they're a good extra little area to store stuff. I normally keep like the left bag. I normally keep my like rain gear and stuff in there, especially during the winter, because if it does end up raining, it'll get cold real fast. And normally I just ride back and forth to work during the winter and then go for a little ride every once in a while. But and I'd be more prepared then. Obviously I wouldn't go in the rain, but just kind of as a safety. And then some straps and stuff, my rock straps I'll keep in there. But normally I use the top box the most. It's just the easiest to get into, it's the biggest, holds the most stuff, and that's normally when I just throw my heated gear in there real quick when I take it on and off. Just makes it kind of easy. But so yeah, that's the plans for this bike once I figure something out. I don't, like I said, I was hoping to get the Softail fixed and do that, but I got to do more research on what kind of starter I want to get, because I think I told you guys yesterday the chrome one that I wanted was like $550. Well, that's for the 1.4 kilowatt starter, which I thought was bigger than stock, but a 1.4 is the same as stock. If I'm going to spend the money to put a starter on that bike, I've always needed to get a bigger one anyways, so I'd like to go with like the 1.6 from like All Balls, or I think Drag Specialties has one. There's a couple different ones out there. I need to also figure out which brand I want, but it's closer to like $650, $700. So we'll figure that stuff out eventually, I guess. I don't know where to really go from here. My kind of goal is to get those spokes ordered, the touring stand ordered, try to get this rear wheel put on this, because like I said, the other two issues with this aren't a super big issue, and it's something that I can fix to get it back on the road in the weekend anyways. So I might just have to take a week off riding and go ahead and tear into it and do it, and then worry about the Softail later. Just really sucks. I spent all that time fixing up the Softail, making sure it was good to go again, polished it all up, looked great, took it for a ride, felt good to be back on the bike. I haven't even got to ride that bike much this year because I got it out, and then I rode it a little bit, and I was like, I really need to fix that noise. I don't want it to be an issue later on down the road for something, and because I ignored it for too long, and I'd already ridden it quite a ways because it was like that on my trip last year. So, and well, I don't think it would have been too big an issue. Wasn't really gonna mess anything up. It's also still not good on it to be getting air through injectors and throw it off. Kind of work that computer and tuner harder than it should. Constantly probably trying to adjust for that extra air going in there. But yeah, just kind of sucks because now by the time I finally do get the starter and get it all replaced, it'll be the end of the year. or end of riding season up here, at least end of the nice riding season, and I normally like to put that one away for the winter anyway. So hopefully I can get it fixed soon enough to where I can ride it a couple more times this year. But at the same time, I guess if I don't get to and save some miles on it, I put a lot of miles on it last year. For how much I rode it last year too, I didn't ride it a whole lot last year besides my trip. So we'll see where it goes. Well, like I said, I'm gonna maybe try to focus on getting this one fixed now, because once I get the rear wheel fixed and stuff like that, it should be relatively easy job. And it should be something that I can all do myself. Like I said, I've been trying to figure out how to, or wanting to figure out how to true a wheel for a while. True it and then, balance it on that turning stand too. That should be, I feel like, relatively easy. But yeah. Kind of curious to see once I take the tire and stuff off this one. I'm gonna check and see how true it is still with that one spoke missing. And I almost wish I had a extra cheap set of spokes that I could try to practice with first and put on here, because Buchanan's spokes that I'm going to get are about $150 because they are full stainless steel spoke and nipple, and they're a little thicker, so they're a good spoke. And I don't really want to mess up a $150 set. So although sometimes they make those to order, so if I did break one or two doing it, I should be able to order one or two from them, I believe. But I still would rather not do that, because if I end up breaking one or two, that means I've put too much tension on other ones too, and I really don't think I will. I've watched enough videos and stuff. I think I can figure it out. It just takes time doing it, but I think we'll be all right. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of finish riding home. I got a neat little spot up here right outside of Spokane. I'm kind of riding downtown Spokane right now and going home instead of the highway. But I might turn the camera back on for that. But for now, I'm gonna get through town. This is kind of coming up on the start of what I was talking about. Kind of a neat little road. Well, it's nothing super fancy, but got the Spokane River right down here. Now I'll just can't quite see the river right here, but honestly, that's about it for the really pretty part. This road just kind of goes back up and meets up with the highway, and then I shoot right back into town, and that's it. But thought I'd have a little silent moment in this video of just riding. I know some people enjoy that.